we not gonna do is sit up here and act like Brandy was not the victim the entire time. Darnell deserved every bit of brick that went through that window. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Now, this movie is from 1996 and it stars Martin Lawrence, Lynn Whitfield, and Regina King. Black people. Now, before we get into all things, if you don't mind, I do you just fine. I can be your part-time lover. That was not the song. I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things Martin getting his whole ass handed to him by Lynn Whitfield in this movie. Was it deserved? I think so.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this movie. But before we jump into the video, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for it and requested this film. So if you happen to pour some sugar in somebody's tank, throw a brick through their window, and flatten their tires, it's not because of me. It's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. Now, getting into this movie was written and directed by Martin Lawrence himself. I did not know that. Considering the year that this movie came out, this is such a turbulent time in his life. The outcome is impeccable as far as I'm concerned. This was around the time that Martin was arrested. He was enraged, hospitalized, running up and down the street, waving a gun, screaming, "They are trying to kill me." He was exhausted, he was overworked, and he was really edgy. This was also around the time that he went through his first divorce, and around the time that the allegations came from Tisha Campbell, formerly Martin, on the Martin Show of assault. They have since worked these things out and have even had a reunion show together, but that doesn't make this time any less turbulent than it was for him or her. But this was around the time that we got that sad-ass last season of Martin where him and Tisha Campbell couldn't occupy the same room, so they was always missing each other or in a different state. Oh my God, it was tragic. With that being said, with Martin being able to accomplish this, it's absolutely amazing. Is this the greatest movie ever? Absolutely not. But what we did get here, it is commendable. And it also validated the thoughts that I had as a kid growing up watching this film. In comparison to the Martin that we get in the Martin Show and the Martin that we get here, even Martin that we got in the Bad Boys franchise, something always felt off here about his character. Not that he wasn't funny or that he wasn't giving his all, but he always felt really drained to me. He looked different. He looked a little high. Looked like he was smoking a pound to get through the day, and he just looked exhausted. Watching this movie as of now, I can completely understand why. Now, in writing this movie, Martin has went on record as to say the script was heavily influenced by Boomerang and Fatal Attraction. And this movie is the personification of both of those films mixed together. This movie is very much so Jacqueline and Angela with a dose of Glenn Close craziness. Now, we are introduced to Martin here as Darnell, definitely giving off those early 90s how to be a player ass vibe, juggling multiple women at once. He is a lover, not a fighter, and whoever he needs to be currently for the woman who is standing in his face. He's a club promoter, smooth talking, semi-owner of Chocolate City, where all the women are constantly and forever on the VIP list. The life is lovely. The life is smooth. Sex is regular. Pimping ain't easy. That is until he meets Brandy Webb. Now, before we could even get into any of our main characters, I was just absolutely blown away by Darnell's all-star lineup that he is playing and running through all of these beautiful black women. Shall we run them down? Wendy Raquel Robinson, Melinda Williams, Simbi Callie, Tangi Ambrose, Regina King, Lynn Whitfield. It is absolutely an understatement just to say, oh, 90s women hit different. They absolutely did. We have all of these different women here, all Black women, all different skin tones, body types, all natural, hair textures, mostly looking all natural. It's just so missing. We absolutely took it for granted when there was more diversity in every single person that you saw going down your timeline, your Facebook, your Twitter, walking down the damn street because everybody and their mama got a BBL. Looks the same. Everybody looks the same. When I could just, go for some good old brown skin. Beautiful mahogany, you make me feel like a queen. You make me feel like... Come on, India. Tell me what's that thing you do that make me want to get next to you, yeah. Where's the brown skin? It's gone. It's gone. It's over. Now, Lynn Whitfield here as Brandy Webb is giving power professional, success, bone structure, regal grace, and beauty. Lynn Whitfield. She is completely out of his league, and she is completely uninterested in anything Darnell or Chocolate City could ever have to offer, which makes her even more interesting for Darnell to chase. Darnell is not only eager to pursue her, but he wants to conquer her. She is not only a bet between him and his best friend T, but she is a trophy. Trash. Now, going back to watch this was definitely the first of many warning shots that were fired towards Darnell. If there was ever a female in the movie that gave overt and subtle signs of, leave me alone, I'm not interested, I might even be a little unstable and crazy, it was Brandy, but we ignored them because we wanted her. Now, what I also really appreciated about Darnell's character is that even though you see those typical traits of a player, we're nonchalant, we're cocky, we are, treating women as if they are just completely disposable, we're a little selfish. When it comes to his mother and his own sister, it's a completely different story. Now, Darnell loves his mother, portrayed here by the beautiful Della Reese, and his baby sister. He is considerate, he's protective, he's honest, respectful, giving to the point that he is willing to sneak money into his own mother's purse, worried about who's going to take his baby sister to the prom. I say, what? You say who? Rodney who? Rodney Smalls? Cleopa's little brother? Oh, no, mama, this, no. Okay, you want your daughter to come home with a little yang yang? Like, what, little yang? What, you out here giving yang yang to everybody else? The double standard of it all. This early depiction of toxic masculinity that we see so much in the media today. Darnell will be the typical dog and sleep with as many women as he wants to. You can cheat, you can lie, you forsake, and instantly degrade, but would die before someone does that to his mother, his sister, and his own daughter. Not my daughter's Hyman. Nigga, please. Now, Lynn Whitfield here as Brandy, I cannot speak enough on how gorgeous she is in this role. I really hate that she doesn't get, talked about enough. Everybody has kind of just designated her to, oh, that crazy woman who's good at playing crazy, which she is because sis can act. But let's talk about, Women of Brewster Place. Let's talk about Eve's Bayou. Let's talk about her impeccable, flawless performance of Josephine Baker. Let's get into that. But I always thought, she possessed some maturity and brought something to this movie that Martin just didn't bring. I will always have a hard time digesting Martin as, sexy, a player. He is just funny, goofy. Martin to me, you know what I'm saying? But it's to be had because she is like almost 15 years older than Martin in real life. So it makes total sense here. Now, I'm going to give Miss Brandy a pass on this first interaction that she has with Darnell. It's like, I didn't come to see you. I came to see the club. There's this whole dance. Sis is looking flawless. But there are so many scenarios in this movie to where I am just like, Brandy, why are you here? Why are you even allowing this man in your space? Like, sis, read the room. He is not it. Like, even if he was, the end all to be all, he is not even on your level in any type of way. He just shouldn't have even been allowed in her space. Like, who are you? Her representation here in this movie is also a tool of following your first instincts and your intuition. Girl, if you feel I ain't shit coming up off of him, leave him over there. Follow your first instinct. But this opens the door for the opportunity for him to become the stalker that he is, get her license plate and find out more about her and follow this woman with the illest of intentions. I bet you have to tell her you love her to get some. I bet you won't get this. I bet you can't do that. Hey, if you tap that and say fuck her afterwards, because that's what we were planning to do, I will address you as the man, like, period. Nigga, what? Now, however, Mia, Miss Regina King here, glowing in this role, is the exception. She is clearly the homie lover friend who partially got away, but didn't really get away because her ass was on pause until Darnell got finished being Darnell. Clearly, Mia knows him better than anybody, and she has some types of standards because she walked away when she realized, oh, you have commitment issues, you're on your own thing. You know what? I don't have time for this. I'm gonna get on my shit. I'm gonna go to the army. But we instantly come back and it's, Mia, you gonna wait for me? Tell me. He literally meant, are you going to wait for me? Like, girl, you know I want to be with you. You know that you are in game. As soon as I'm done, you know, with all my fuckery, I'm gonna come back for you. You just on the back burner for right now. That's why he was hating so much on Reggie. Mia definitely sold herself short on the situation. Reggie was considerate, faithful, wealthy, devoted to her, handsome, a gentleman, and we're gonna throw all of that to the side for a nigga who feels like you would only go to the army or go back to the army if there was a man waiting on you. Like, girl, you had a man. You had a man that was more than 8 foot tall, 4 foot shoulders, and that ain't. You had a king size papa. You had a Juana man. You let that go for Darnell? What the hell was you thinking? Oh, but this is exactly what we get when we get into those 90s, early 2000s shit. Even some rom-com dramas today, normalizing waiting for somebody to want you when they want you on their own terms, on their own time, when they're ready. You get the buddy and the booty. Meanwhile, while you're waiting, people who wait, they miss the bus. We ain't got time. We don't have time. Now, while we have Mia acting overly uninterested in Reggie, who is staring her in the face, waiting on Darnell to low-key get back to her, he is being the ultimate overbearing stalker to get closer to Brandy. He is thinking that all of his player ways are gonna work, which they don't, which should have been red flag number one, girl. He is showing, and when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time and still I rise. Girl, Maya Angelou, that whole thing, like, he is showing up to her job unannounced with tacky flowers, pushing. This is like Link, like that is my shit. Like, I don't care. You can push over and break the cheapest shit in my house. It might have cost $1. I will blurt out, this is La Link. Like, what? This is La Link. What are you doing? Now, mind you, even still up until this point, Brandy has still shown absolutely no interest in Darnell. She even has him escorted out. Flashlight cops, I see you, I see you. Like, Martin gets on my nerves. Like, Martin is an acquired taste, in my opinion. I love Martin in The Martin Show. I love him in Bad Boys. But in some instances, like, I love early Martin, like, pre-Boomerang Martin, you know, the roles that he not only had in Boomerang and maybe even something like, you know, small roles like he had in Do the Right Thing when he was just really acting. That was before he got into this bottle of, you know, this is who, or even, you know, his stand-up in Def Comedy Jam. Like, that was before he got into, you know, oh, this is my Martin and this is, you know, the Martin persona that I'm going to give off in every single film. But I take Martin in small doses, but he does not get enough credit for his physical, like, comedic acting and timing. Like, what he's able to do with his face, his eyes, and his body is just absolutely hilarious. Now, before we get into Darnell's complete facade, I am definitely not gonna skip over Chill, aka Daryl, in this role. I don't know, I guess she backed out. Always talk about the dog, and then Mr. Wright is gonna get out as soon as I open the door. Like, I love Chill. Like, Chill didn't get enough play. Like, it was so sad to see him, you know, end up in a wheelchair. But you can see that he has so much potential, and what he was able to do with such small roles that he got in movies, he was still oh so memorable. Now, getting back into Darnell with this whole charade and this whole facade into what, to think that this man went to these lengths just to say, I fucked her, I put her on the shelf, I had that. Like, it is absolutely crazy. Not only did we do the performative shit at her job, which didn't work, we go an extra step. She is into, you know, property, real estate. She is that bitch. You book an appointment, get a fake ass limo, take her, on this charade of you walking around the property that you obviously cannot afford. The baby bird set a nigga back a bit. I bet it did. All of this just to win this lady over, to charm her, to sleep with her, and throw her ass on the ground. Now, Brandy and Mia, in my opinion, were putting way too much stock in the fact that, Darnell is funny. He gives the buddy vibes. He's a good time. He makes me laugh. Girl, yes, the charmers always do. Even though he had, previous history with Mia, which is why I was dumbfounded as to why, she would go down that route. Girl, you know his ways more than anybody. But oh yes, we are extra charming and funny and adventurous to a fault. Oh, he taking me down to the hood and let me eat some fish. I don't wanna bore you with this. Come on, Tevin. Oh, but I love you, I love you, I love you. We're not gonna act like the soundtrack went bumping in this movie. But even through the lens of all this charm, the smile, the whining and dining, the ultimate goal with Brandy was to get the draws. I got the draws, dog. I got the draws. I'm trying to get them draws. And the moment we realized that we couldn't get those, we gaslit Brandy to no end. That whole horse riding scene, you have to grip the thigh and ride the horse. That's all he's thinking about this entire time. He showed his true intention right there. And it behooves me as to why Brandy did not walk away then. I don't know you. I don't trust you. You trust a horse more than you trust this motherfucker? Hell yeah. I don't know anything about you, but you are so eager to sleep with me. Have you enter my body, most likely try to throw off my pH balance and eat up my food? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Her trust issues were so warranted. But while he was so busy worried about getting to the draws, we are ignoring all the signs that, something is not right with Brandy. It's subtle, but it's always there. I love how she snatches his ass when it's like, let me show you how to ride this horse. And he's like, all right, goddamn, girl, you're messing up my shirt. Yeah, she was strong, wasn't she? Even down to her trust issues. You could tell that she had been hurt and she was bothered long before she ever exposed what happened between her and her husband and the whole thing there. Brandy was off her rocker. But if you thought we came this far and we were not going to discuss Bobby Brown, you were sadly mistaken. Hey! What we not going to do is act like Bobby Brown was not a triple threat out here. We was dancing, we was singing, we was acting like. I love Bobby Brown here as T. I love any time that we got to see him in any movies. Of course, with everything out in the media, the whole thing with Whitney Houston, people tend to forget Bobby was that dude. Like Bobby and that whole dance scene, those dance auditions, hey, bow, 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 lives in my head rent free. Like, I love that. You can take a whole lot away from Bobby Brown, but one thing you can't take away is his talent and his goddamn charisma. He is such a charming person. And when you see those glimpses of who he is outside of all of, the toxic drama, you can see why, what I see a little bit, we're not gonna act like Bobby wasn't looking a little chocolate here in this role. Like, stop it. And if you believe in love and all that it can do for you, don't act like you ain't want to be a Roni at least once. After we have Darnell gaslight Brandy so much to the point that she feels like she needs to open her legs because we are saying shit like, you've been patient, when is it going to pay off? When am I going to get something? Like, you're with me for a payoff? Like, get the fuck out of here. We have her, that little text and invite him over, and did you see her house? Did you see sis' house? Like, why is he even here? It was lavish. This entire time, Darnell has been so focused on conquering her and getting some that we have ignored all the signs of crazy. The fact that you introduced your friend Mia and she act like she was too good to shake her hand. The fact that she was giving you the crazy stink eye on the dance floor. The fact that she was talking and coercing herself. It's going to be all right. It's okay. Let your guard down. It's fine. Everything's fine. Like, crazy. Do you love me? Do you want me? I want you. Do you need me? Are you really gonna call me like you said you would? Is this really your real phone? She was in there whole ass switching herself. She was debarging herself. Coercing herself to be okay with the situation when she just wasn't ready. But you have Darnell just so eager. He is saying all the right things with intention to get some. But he fucks up and says the thing that opens up literally the floodgates of heaven. I love you. Like, oh, well, why you had to go say that? Like, oh, she thought it was real then. Oh, you love me? She even crosses all I's and bats all T's, even if she is crazy. Is there anybody else that you could ever want? Anybody? Where's Mia? Do you care about Mia? I don't even see nobody but you, baby. It's all about you. When it never was. It was always about Mia being in game. But she opens up and she sleeps with him anyway. And then we get to the point in the movie where Darnell literally has to be the dumbest dude alive. Like, I don't care what niche or what groove that we are in. If you tell me that you killed somebody, first of all, why are you here walking on planet Earth? Why aren't you locked up somewhere? First of all, can you explain that? How did you get away with murder, ma'am? Like, the fact that he just kind of coasts over the fact that, he was a bad man. He was so mean. He cheated on me and I killed him. It's like, what? Well, if the nigga had to go, he had to go. I have came and conquered and got what I needed to get. Brandy feels like she has surrendered herself, her temple, her soul, her mind, body, and spirit. Meanwhile, for Darnell, it's just a goddamn Tuesday. We know it was a Tuesday because instantly after it happened, what did? We went downstairs to call T just so he could give him the recognition that I hit it and I'm the man. And instantly after that, you're feeling like you're the man and you're trying to get, do that slide out the bed. You're trying to get away from somebody like, oh, get your damn, you too close. This was a one night stand. She is instantly clingy after that. I want some of your brown sugar. She was trying to become a whole instant sugar mama to Darnell. First of all, Darnell, you low-key fumbling your own motherfucking bag if you want to keep it all the way 100. The fact that she even let you in. Oh, you don't have to do that, baby. I will support you. I'll buy you your own club. You could be a whole well-kept man. Like, oh, really? Brandy was going to push it to the limit and support and finance his whole ass dreams of owning his own nightclub. Not only that, we are taking him shopping, buying him new suits. He's all in the limo. The only thing I ask is that, you make me smile, you make me laugh, give me dick on the regular, and don't miss my candlelight birthday. But in the midst of baby sis being on her way to the prom, giving that good old bad boys 2 energy, ain't gonna be no fucking tonight. How old are you? 15. Nigga, you at least 30. Like, he all of a sudden has empathy and has this whole epiphany of, I don't want to lose Mia. She won't be around forever. She's going back to the army. If I'm gonna be with her, I need to go be with her now. I need to tell her how much I care, how much I love her. Meanwhile, I have been solely entertaining Brandy and other women this entire movie, and since she's been back. I love Peaches, aka Pam. Peaches was giving Pam energy. I love how Martin writes all of his dark skinned characters. Like, Pam and Peaches are simply just written to be haters, even though we see Pam for all of 2 seconds. You ain't gonna be treating my cousin like she one of your hoes. Pam Peaches was that one who saw Darnell for exactly who he was. Why would I want you anywhere near my cousin? Get the hell away. But all of a sudden, it is all about Mia, and Mia is like totally like the recipient. Like, yeah, I just been waiting. Like, you've been trying to get chose this entire time. My nigga choosing, never ever fuck without a rubber, never in the sheets, like it on top of the cover. You've been waiting to get chose this entire time, and the moment he decides to do so, Mia is there willing and waiting. Yes, we were friends. Yes, we were this. Yes, we have history, but boo, you do not have to do that. But this is what she's been waiting on, and he literally changes overnight. Not only is he not, interested in the sex, but they are talking, they are having real conversations, those same conversations that you had with me previous that went unrecognized because you wanted to do the shit that you wanted to do, but we just gonna leave that on the ground. Anywho, we sleep, we cuddle, we don't instantly try to jump into the sex. In fact, in the movie, he is waiting on the sex because she is not ready to do that. But he is ready to make that change because he likes Mia. So not only do we wait for the sex, we drop every single woman that we are dealing with, including Brandy, breaking hearts in the process. Like, I only want to focus on this one woman. Like, it's literally an overnight change. It's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? He is checking in. He is solely focused on Mia. Everybody else can just get the fuck on. This is who I chose. This is my woman. This is who I am choosing to change for and be faithful to. Meanwhile, one woman was not done, and her name was Brandy motherfucking Crazy Eyes Webb. Like, when I tell you Lynn Whitfield does not get enough credit just for the acting, like if there was a picture of, you know, Fatal Attraction, psychotic woman, like her picture would be there like this. Like she would just be there. Like, Brandy is here as the epitome of, you know, you can't just play with all women the same. You can't, you know, tell somebody you love them, play with their emotions, their heart, their love, and just think that it's just gonna roll off of their back. You said it, you meant it. So now I'm here because clearly you've lost it. And I just wanted to know if you liked your pancakes like dark or fluffy, because I'm here for you, babe. Like, you still love me, right? You still love me. Like, oh, not only did he curse her out, we push her against the wall, like, get the fuck off of me. Like, bitch, get the hell out of here. Take your burnt bacon batter and step. Like, oh, so not only do you not love me, you're choosing another woman over me, and you just cursed me out and told me to get the fuck out of your house? Oh, okay, nigga, that's what you want to do? Like, she completely loses it. Do you know how crazy you have to be to try to hit and run? Like, you almost got ran the fuck over coming out of the cleaners. Do you know how insane and off your rocker you have to be to physically abuse yourself and blame a man for it? Like, sis broke her arm and blacked her eye and punched her face with the orange. Like, completely insane. It is just crazy to see the extent that some women will go. Like, you completely messed with the wrong one. Like, you thought she was gonna fall by the wayside like all those other women. Not only am I not gonna do that, but I'm going to ruin your fucking life. You didn't have to do this, Darnell. Don't you know how much I love you? Like, excuse me? Brandy has lost her mind, and now we are beyond love. She just simply wants payback. I love when she rolls up and throws that brick through. She threw a brick through my shit. Like, I love when she does that. Oh, hey, mama. Little mama's boy. Like, I've been wanting to meet you. Like, Martin trying to hold back Della Reese will forever be hilarious. Like, I can't believe you brought this shit to my mama's house. How dare you? Mind you, this is the same man who was giving out his mother's phone number to avoid women calling him after he has dropped them like trash. But however, funny or not, I do love the light that this movie tries to share on domestic violence or just vandalism towards men. When it's, you know, man versus the women, it's a totally different story. He is not believed. He is not protected. Even with the whole scenario of Brandy killing her previous husband, clearly she wasn't properly vetted or investigated, and she was just let go of that charge. He is not helped. So not only is she able to throw a brick through his window, but she is able to break him down to his brake pads and front of the goddamn police station. She broke me down to my brake pads in front of the police station. Where's the justice? Oh, I can't go nowhere without no goddamn ties. Look at my shit. She fucked my shit. Like, absolutely a funny scene, but in actuality, the fact that she was able to do that right directly in front of the police station is insane. It was just the whole play on how unprotected some men are. Even though you brought it on yourself. You brought all this shit on yourself. The fact that, you know, I'm not believe she was so easily to, you know, have me incriminated, have me arrested, because you are going to believe this woman over me simply because she's a female and I'm a man. But we have the power dynamic completely reversed within his relationship with Brandy, and it's like it's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Not only am I the stalker, but unlike you, I'm not stalkering you to conquer you. I'm stalking you to ruin your whole life. Not only am I following your every move, but I am threatening the now love of your life overnight, Mia. At which we have Darnell do the first real selfless thing as far as breaking up with Mia to protect her and save her life against Brandy's threats. I, you know, took that with a grain of salt. I just couldn't really get into that because, first of all, we wouldn't be here if you was a real one. We wouldn't be here in the first place. You brought a lot of this energy on yourself, and you could have been honest with me and told me what was actually going on instead of just breaking up with me and making me feel like shit and having me think you were going to go on and continue with your player ass ways like trash. Now, the last straw for Darnell is Brandy trying to burn down Chocolate City. Like, how we gonna put hoes on a VIP list if ain't no VIP to go to? Like, this is when he drives all the way to her home to confront her without anybody, and she hands his entire ass to him. Now, this whole situation here is like crazy because he literally has to go through the ringer just to simply apologize to this woman and humble himself. She has been crazy and unhinged this entire time. She has proven time and time again that she is not, you know, all there, and she is not above taking your life. This is not a game to her. She didn't tie you up and put a gun in your mouth and call you, they shoot mad dog. She didn't call you a mad dog and tell you that she was gonna kill you for decoration. I don't know how the fuck you gonna get me to go upstairs. I ain't walking. Like, Him pigeon toe walking up them goddamn steps is funny. That's funny. But he has to get tied up, get knocked out with the vase, kicked in the balls, shot, thrown in a tub, half-assed, about to get electrocuted by the skin of his teeth to go, a nigga apologize. I apologize. Like, it's too late. The time to apologize and admit who you really are was long before she put that damn cake on your goddamn porch. But who was there to save your ass? Who was there? Like, choosing never ever without a rubber, trying to get chose. Mia shows up. What was up with Lynn Whitfield's Brandi character calling Regina King's Mia a nappy head? Who wrote that?
What?
Who wrote that? What was that for? What? Nappy head. This is the nappy head you chose. I got your little nappy head out here. Excuse me? She is there to save Darnell along with T, who got knocked out, but they all go out of a window together. So he avoids having his life taken. If she didn't show up when she did, best believe he would have been shot. But we end off with him having, you know, the deep lesson learned to know if you say those 3 words to somebody, love them, live them, know them, mean them. Don't just be saying that shit just to say them. Don't play with anybody. Don't play with Mia. Stop breaking hearts. Darnell is, of course, hurt and hospitalized, but he is very much so alive, and he still has Mia trying to get chose by his side. However, Brandi is arrested, sent to jail, and, you know, I hope they fix the hole in her heart before they let her out. What lessons can be learned from this movie? Now, what we're not gonna do is just act like Brandi was 100% okay. You cannot kill people for breaking your heart and hurting your feelings. It just ain't right. It just ain't right. The extent that she went to, you know, it was way past, you know, a little sugar in a tank and flat some tires. She had every intention to kill that man, which was not okay. The whole treatment that he had, the little domestic situation where he was not believed, was not okay. But we are not gonna act like Darnell did not bring all of this on himself. And if you had been a better human being, been respectful, been honest about quit lying on your dick, we would not have been in this situation. Clean it up. Well, you guys, that was my review for A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about this movie and what you thought about my review. Did I bring back some good memories? It was a good trip down memory lane for me. I really enjoyed watching this movie. I appreciate you guys so much for being here with me. Be sure to like that button. Hit the button. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff because it helps me out. I see you guys next time. Bye.